I rubbed my eyes as I sat at the dining table, still half asleep, the steam from my untouched coffee blurring my vision. I barely had time to breathe before Isabella walked in, heels clicking against the floor like she had somewhere more important to be. She didn't say good morning. She didn't even look at me. She just slid a stack of papers across the table and said, in a voice colder than the tile under my feet, "Sign these." I stared at them. "Isabella, what is this?" "Don't act confused," she said sharply. "You know what this is." "I don't," I whispered. "I really don't." "It's a divorce, Aaron," she replied, arms folded, tone flat like she had practiced it in the mirror. "I'm done." My breath caught. Done? With what? With us. I felt a jolt in my chest. "Isabella, what did I do? If I said something wrong yesterday—" "This isn't about yesterday," she cut in. "It's about everything. You're holding me back." "Holding you back?" I repeated. "How?" She sighed, annoyed, and finally looked at me, but only for a second. "You don't match my goals anymore. My future. My lifestyle. I can't keep pretending we're on the same level." I blinked. "Is that really how you see me?" Her phone buzzed loudly on the counter. "Marcus, incoming message." She ignored it or tried to, but the name lit up the screen again. And again. And again. I swallowed hard. "You've been talking to him in the mornings now?" Her jaw tightened. "This is none of your business." "It is if you're divorcing me for him." "I'm not divorcing you for him," she snapped. "I'm divorcing you because you're stagnant." "Stagnant?" I whispered, the word cutting deeper than I expected. "Is that what I am to you?" Her phone buzzed again. "Marcus, 3 new messages." I stared at the screen, then at her. "At least look at me when you say these things." "I don't owe you that," she muttered. "You're my wife." "Not for long." My fingers curled into fists under the table. "Isabella, please. Tell me what changed." "You didn't," she said. "That's the problem." I felt the air leave my lungs. "So this is about money." "This is about stability," she corrected. "And ambition. And someone who actually matches my pace." "Marcus." I said, "It's none of your business." "But it is," I said. "Because I thought we were a team." She laughed suddenly, a tired, bitter sound. "A team? Aaron, I've been carrying us for years. You make more than me, yes. It's not just that," she cut me off again. "You don't aim high. You don't push yourself. You're comfortable. Too comfortable." Her phone buzzed harder this time, vibrating across the counter. "Answer it," I said quietly. "He seems impatient." Her face flushed. "Don't try to guilt me." "I'm not," I said, though my voice trembled. "I'm just tired of hearing that I'm the problem when he's clearly part of this." "I didn't cheat," she said defensively. "Emotionally?" I asked. She hesitated. Her silence said everything. I leaned back in my chair, heart cracking in slow motion. "I never thought you'd do this. Not like this. Not without even talking to me first." "I don't want to fight," she said. "I just want you to sign." I looked at the papers, blurry through the sting in my eyes. "That's it? No conversation? No memory worth saving?" "This isn't about memories," she said. "It's about the future. And I'm not in it." She didn't deny it. Her phone buzzed again. "Marcus, call me when you're done." I exhaled shakily. "Isabella, tell me one thing." "What now?" "Was I ever enough for you?" She didn't blink. "Maybe once. But not anymore." The honesty hit me harder than anger ever could. I closed my eyes for a moment. My chest felt heavier than my entire body. "Then why did you marry me?" "Because I thought you'd grow," she said. "But you stayed the same. And now you want someone richer, stronger, faster." "I want someone who isn't afraid to rise." Her phone buzzed once more, sharp and impatient. She grabbed her purse. "Sign it quickly, Aaron. Don't make this harder." I stared at her, at the woman I used to know, the woman who once laughed with me over burnt pancakes, who held my hand on rainy nights. Now she wouldn't even meet my eyes. My throat felt tight. I whispered the only thing my heart could manage. "Okay." She didn't look back when she left. She just walked out the door, her phone lighting up with Marcus's name again. And I sat there, alone, staring at the papers that would end our marriage, papers she had clearly decided on long before this morning. I noticed it first in the way she walked past me that morning, quick, distant, like I was a stranger standing in her hallway. I tried to catch her eyes. "Isabella, can we talk? Just for a minute?" She didn't slow down. "I'm late." "For what?" I asked gently. She sighed. "Work, Aaron. It's always work." But you don't usually leave this early. People change schedules, she snapped. Stop reading into everything. I swallowed. I'm not trying to argue. I just want to understand. There's nothing to understand, she said, grabbing her new perfume from the counter. She sprayed it twice, sharp, floral, expensive. A scent I'd never smelled on her before. When did you buy that? I asked. Does it matter? It does to me. She rolled her eyes. Aaron, please. Don't start. I'm starting because something is wrong, I said. You come home late. You barely talk to me. You won't look at me. You're different. Or maybe you're just finally paying attention, she muttered. What does that mean? It means I've been unhappy for a long time. My chest tightened. And you didn't want to tell me? Because talking to you is exhausting, she said coldly. Everything turns into drama. I'm trying to fix the marriage, I whispered. Why does that annoy you? She grabbed her purse. Because it's too late. Before I could ask more, she walked out the door, leaving the smell of that new perfume behind like a warning. Later that evening, when she still wasn't home, I tried calling her. No answer. I texted, Are you safe? When will you be home? Nothing. I paced across the living room until I felt sick. Then I grabbed my keys. Maybe I just needed fresh air. Maybe I needed to calm down. But fate didn't give me calming moments that day. When I reached the building parking lot, I stopped in my tracks. Isabella was there. Not alone. She stood near the far corner, half hidden by a row of cars. Marcus leaned against a black SUV, smiling down at her. And she was smiling back. Not the tired smile she gave me at home. Not the tight, forced one she used when she wanted to avoid talking. This one was soft. Bright. Real. It broke something in me instantly. I ducked behind a car before they could see me. My heart hammered so loudly I was sure they'd hear it. Marcus touched her shoulder. You look beautiful tonight. She laughed softly. Stop. Someone will hear you. No one's here, he murmured. He never comes out this late. My fingers curled around the edge of the car door. I felt my nails digging into the metal. Isabella glanced around nervously. I just don't want problems. You won't have any soon, Marcus said. Once he signs, you'll be free. Free, she whispered, playing with a loose strand of hair. I like the sound of that. You deserve it. You deserve someone who can give you more. She smiled again, brighter than I had seen in months. I know. Is he signing? Marcus asked. He will, she said. He always does what I ask. Something in my chest twisted so hard I thought I'd collapse. Marcus lowered his voice. I can't wait until it's just us. Me too, she murmured. I felt myself shrinking behind the car, my breath shaking, my vision blurring. It wasn't the cheating that hurt the most. It was the way she smiled at him, a smile I never earned no matter how hard I tried. I stepped back slowly, silently, like I was afraid the ground would scream if I moved wrong. Every part of me felt numb, like my soul had slipped out of my body. As I turned away, I heard Marcus say, He won't fight you. He's too gentle. He's too weak, she replied. I didn't cry. I didn't even feel tears forming. I just walked through the parking lot like a ghost drifting through someone else's life. Every step felt like leaving a piece of myself behind. By the time I reached the stairs, my heart was silent. Empty. Cold. I whispered to myself, so this is what betrayal feels like. And for the first time, I finally understood why her smile never reached me anymore. The next morning, Isabella stood in the living room holding the divorce papers like they were overdue bills. Her foot tapped against the floor. Aaron, sit down. We're finishing this today. I sat slowly. Can we talk first? There's nothing to talk about, she said. You're dragging this out like a child. I'm not dragging anything, I replied. I just want to understand why you're rushing. She scoffed. Because I don't want to waste another day on a marriage that isn't working. I didn't even get a chance to fix anything, I said quietly. You can't fix what you never built, she snapped. Look at your job, your salary, your goals. You don't grow, Aaron. You stay stuck. My heart tightened. You think I'm stuck? I know you are, she said. And I'm tired of standing still with you. I rubbed my palm against the table. We used to dream together. That was before I realized dreaming with you means staying small. She shoved the papers toward me. Sign. I took a breath. Why the insults? Why do you need to hurt me on your way out? She laughed bitterly. Hurt you? I'm being honest. Your life is going nowhere. I need someone who can match me. Marcus? I asked. She paused but didn't deny it. At least he has ambition. I stared at her. So all this time, you felt nothing? I felt trapped, she said. And now I want out. So stop acting like you're some tragic hero. Just sign the papers. My voice shook. You can at least show a little respect. For what? She said sharply. Your pride? Your paycheck? Your fragile feelings? She flicked her hand. Please. I don't have time for this. I felt something inside me crack again, but this time it didn't break downward, it broke upward like pressure rising. Still I kept my voice steady. Isabella, you're being cruel. I'm being practical, she said. And if you stop pretending this signature matters, you'll see that I'm doing both of us a favor. I looked down at my name printed above the signature line. The same signature I'd written 1,000 times without thinking. She hovered beside me, impatient. Sign it, she repeated. And stop embarrassing yourself. I lifted the pen slowly. This marriage meant something to me. Well, it doesn't anymore, she snapped. And your signature doesn't mean anything either. The words sliced through me cleanly. I signed. The moment the ink touched the paper, she snatched the document from my hand like she'd been waiting her whole life for that movement. Her entire body relaxed with relief. Finally, she said. You have no idea how long I've been waiting for you to stop acting dramatic. I breathed out. I'm not being dramatic. You're always calm, she mocked. It's annoying. You act like things don't bother you. She waved the papers. You really think this signature is something powerful? Please. It's worthless. I felt a slow fire rising in my stomach, but I swallowed it hard. If that's how you see it, then I hope it makes you happy. It will, she said confidently. More than you ever did. She turned away, already dialing someone. Marcus, I assumed. Her voice softened instantly. It's done, she said sweetly. Yes, I'm coming. I didn't say another word. I just watched her grab her bag and leave the apartment without even looking back. That night, I drove to Mr. Dalton's house, the man who'd been more of a father to me than anyone else. He opened the door with a warm smile. Aaron? It's late. Is everything all right? No, I said honestly. Can we talk? He guided me inside. Sit down, son. Tell me what happened. I sank into the chair. Isabella made me sign the divorce papers today. He nodded slowly. I'm sorry. I know you cared deeply. She said my signature meant nothing, I said. She said I was worthless. Mr. Dalton leaned forward. Your signature means everything. I frowned. What? He opened a drawer, pulled out a thick folder and placed it on the table. I wasn't planning to tell you yet, but I think you need to know. Your signature represents your 10% share of the company. I stared at him. 10% of the whole company? Of the entire corporation, he said firmly. A company valued in the billions. That signature she called worthless? It's worth more than she can imagine. I sat there speechless. Then angry. Then strangely calm. Mr. Dalton rested a hand on my shoulder. Her choices are hers. Your future is yours. I whispered, she'll regret it. And for the first time that day I believed it. I woke up before the sun, the room dim and silent, and whispered to myself, it's time. I didn't wait for courage. I just started packing. Every shirt felt like a memory, every drawer a reminder of how long I'd tried to stay. As I zipped the suitcase I murmured, this house doesn't want me anymore. Even my voice sounded tired. I walked through the hallway slowly, letting my fingers touch the walls. We laughed here, I whispered, then shook my head. And we lied here too. The kitchen felt colder than ever. I remembered the nights I waited for her to come home, staring at untouched plates. Why did I think things would change? I asked the empty air. When I stepped outside, I didn't slam the door. I just let it click behind me, almost gentle. It felt strange, leaving without a fight. Maybe walking away is the only fight left, I muttered. I found myself in a cafe downtown, sitting with my suitcase beside me. The waiter asked, "You okay, sir?" I forced a thin smile and said, "Just tired." I didn't know Lily had seen me until she tapped my shoulder. She sat across from me. "You look awful." "I left," I said. "Left her?" I nodded. There was nothing left to stay for. "What happened now?" she asked. "Everything felt fake this morning," I said. "Every room." "Talk to me," she insisted. I told her about the coldness, the distance, the way Isabella smiled only at someone else. I told her about signing the papers. "She didn't care at all?" Lily asked. "No," I whispered. She looked happy. "That's her loss," Lily said. "Feels like mine," I admitted. She touched my hand. "You didn't lose her. She lost you." Her words stayed in me. She lost me, I repeated. Why does it still hurt? I asked. Because you loved honestly, she said. I exhaled. Feels like wasted years. No, she said. You invested. She wasted. I hadn't realized how badly I needed to hear that. What now? She asked. I don't know. Start over. You will, she said softly. Why do you care? I asked. Because someone should. Thank you, I said quietly. You're not alone, she told me. Somewhere else, Isabella was probably celebrating with Marcus, calling it freedom. She had no idea the divorce would cut her off from everything tied to my signature. Marcus would realize too late. He'd panic. She'd freeze. They'd understand the cost. Not my problem anymore. When I stood to leave, Lily asked, You ready? Yeah, I said. Ready to walk forward. As we stepped outside, the morning air felt cooler than I expected. Lily walked beside me, her steps slow. You sure you're okay? She asked again. No, I admitted. But I'm better than I was in that house. She nodded. That's enough for today. I stared down the street. I keep hearing her voice telling me I wasn't enough. That voice is wrong, Lily said. It felt real, I murmured. Because you trusted her, she replied. I rubbed my face. I hate that she gets to walk away smiling. She's not happy, Lily said. Just distracted. I looked at her. You think she'll regret it? I think she will, Lily answered. I didn't respond. I didn't know what I wanted, closure or silence. Lily nudged my arm. You're allowed to build a life not shaped by her. I don't know who I am without her, I said. Then this is your chance to find out. Feels scary. So did staying, she replied. I let out a breath. I don't want to be the guy who got left. Then be the guy who walked away. I looked at her, surprised. I'll try. You're already moving, she said. I glanced at my suitcase. Yeah, I guess I am. At the corner I asked, Do you think I'll heal? She smiled. One step at a time. I let her words settle as we stood there, the wind brushing past us like a quiet reminder that life kept moving. Maybe this really is a beginning, I said. Lily nodded, her expression warm. It is. And you're stronger than you think. Today. I heard about it first thing from Lily over the phone. Her voice had that sharp, teasing edge she always used when she knew something juicy. Guess what happened at Isabella's office? She asked. I rubbed my temples, already sensing trouble. What? She needed your signature. The big deal, the one she and Marcus were so proud of? It collapsed. The company refused to move forward without you. I felt a strange mix of disbelief and satisfaction, but I forced my voice calm. No way. You're joking. No joke. Marcus was fuming. Claire told me she heard him yell across the conference room, something about incompetence and wasted time. I leaned back in my chair, a slow grin creeping over my face. Incompetence, that's rich coming from him. Lily chuckled. I know. Apparently, Isabella laughed at first, thinking it was a mistake. But the higher-ups weren't having it. They wanted your signature. Without it, nada. My stomach loosened. Karma was unfolding and I hadn't lifted a finger. I let her recount the story, feeling the heavy weight from weeks of heartbreak lighten slightly. She kept trying to call you? Lily continued. Marcus snapped at her. He lost it. He shouted, You'll fix this, or something equally dramatic. But you know what she said? Claire said she cried right there in the office. All the confidence she used to have? Gone. I closed my eyes, picturing her posture, the haughty tilt of her chin replaced by desperation. So that's what it feels like, I guess. Watching it all unravel without touching it. Exactly. And the whispers started immediately. Rumors. People talking. Saying she's losing control, that she's, well, not the same as before. I couldn't help but smile a little. Not gloating, not entirely. Just quiet relief. Claire said she kept her distance, Lily added. She watched quietly as Isabella flailed. She told me Marcus kept trying to shield her, but it wasn't helping. You'd be proud of the way people started treating her differently. I exhaled, leaning against the couch. Different, meaning? People stopped bending over backwards for her. Her team is nervous around her now. Every mistake she makes gets noticed. Natural consequences, Aaron. Finally catching up with her. I nodded silently. Part of me felt like a ghost watching her world crumble, but another part of me was alive again, breathing for the first time in months. And how about you? I asked softly, letting the conversation turn inward. I'm helping you breathe, idiot, Lily said, her voice warm now. Move into the new place. Forget about her. Start building your life again. Her words hit me like a lifeline. I could almost see it. Boxes stacked, sunlight spilling through empty windows, the chance to start over. For the first time in weeks, I allowed myself a full inhale. I think I'm ready, I whispered almost to myself. Ready to leave all that behind. You should be, Lily said. You didn't lose her. She lost you. And trust me, she's finding out what that means too late. I laughed quietly, a sound I hadn't made in a long time. It wasn't a mean laugh, just a release, a letting go of tension I didn't realize I'd been holding. She doesn't know yet, I said, thinking of Isabella celebrating her so-called freedom with Marcus. She has no clue my signature can lock her out of everything connected to that company once the divorce is final. Lily's voice was calm but amused. That's the beauty of it. She'll see soon enough. I leaned back and closed my eyes, letting the quiet satisfaction sink in. It wasn't revenge, not really. It was the universe correcting itself, one inevitable step at a time. And you? I asked her finally. Are you ready to help me live my own life now? She laughed, a soft, teasing sound. I've been ready. You just didn't realize it yet. I smiled, a real one this time. For the first time in months I felt light, free. And for the first time in longer, I believed I could start again. I adjusted my tie in the mirror, staring at the reflection of a man I barely recognized. Clean-cut, sharp suit, confident posture, me but not the me I used to be. I swallowed hard and whispered to myself, time to become someone she never saw. The first day at Dalton Industries was surreal. I walked through halls I had only dreamed about, passing assistants and executives who treated me differently, their nods polite, cautious. I tried to ignore the prickling sensation at the back of my neck. This is power, I muttered under my breath, and I'm finally allowed to touch it. Mr. Aaron, good to see you, Claire said, clipboard in hand, voice neutral. We've prepared your schedule for the week. Board meetings, investor calls, a briefing on the West project. I nodded, forcing my confidence into my voice. Thank you, Claire. Let's make it productive. She paused, eyebrows raising slightly, and I felt a twinge of amusement. She didn't recognize me yet, and that was fine. I didn't need recognition. Not from her. Later, I met Adrian West, the journalist who had a reputation for digging up skeletons. I found him in the corner office, already reviewing files. You're Aaron? He asked, sharp eyes scanning me. Yes, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. And you're Adrian West. I've heard about your work. He smirked. Heard? I've made careers out of exposing people like Marcus. He's not as untouchable as he seems. I felt a spark of interest, not for Isabella but because I respected honesty. Marcus. Your soon-to-be ex-wife's new fiancé. Let's just say, he's been hiding a lot. Fraud, embezzlement, off-the-books deals. Dangerous people around him, dangerous for her if she isn't careful. I stiffened. You're saying Isabella might be in danger? West shrugged. I'm saying you should care. Or not. But someone should. I hesitated. For a moment the old ache flickered inside me. Not love, not even close, but concern. I'm not like her, I reminded myself. I don't chase what isn't mine. But, she's human and humans get hurt. Noted, I said finally. Thank you. Adrian studied me like I was another puzzle. You're different. She doesn't know what she lost. Or maybe she does, but it won't matter until later. I didn't answer. My mind raced, thinking about strategy, growth, every mistake I would never repeat. Then my phone buzzed. Daniel. My brother. After years of silence. Aaron, it's been a while, he said, voice casual but with that old edge. You really became a ghost while I built my life. Guess we both moved on. I clenched my jaw. Daniel, it's complicated. You could say that, he replied. Heard about Isabella. Heard about Marcus. Heard you're now running Dalton behind the scenes. I exhaled slowly, shaking my head. I'm not here for revenge. I'm here to become someone better. Someone I never thought I could be. There was silence on the line. Then he chuckled softly. Well, I guess that's impressive. Don't get too cocky though. Life has a way of humbling even the best. I smiled faintly, a tight, determined grin. I'll remember that. After the call, I walked through the office, letting the weight of my new role settle in. Fear had been replaced by determination. Confusion had shifted into clarity. Pride was building quietly in the pit of my stomach. I stopped for a moment, hands on my desk, staring out at the city skyline. This is my life now. Not hers. Not Marcus's. Mine. Every choice, every decision, every move mattered. And I would not falter, Not this time. By the end of the day I felt it. The transformation was real. I was no longer the man she left behind. I was someone new. Someone strong. Someone she never imagined. And for the first time in months I looked forward to tomorrow. I sat at my desk, fingers hovering over my coffee when the first message came in. Breaking news, Aaron Mitchell announced as new heir to Dalton Industries. My phone buzzed relentlessly, notifications piling up. I barely glanced at the screen, but something told me this was different. Claire peeked in. Aaron, people are noticing. The press is everywhere. The announcement went live online 5 minutes ago. I nodded slowly, trying to act calm. Good. Let them look. By the time I reached the lobby, the monitors displayed my face. My face, smiling slightly, my name emblazoned across the screen. The camera caught every angle. The words beneath screamed, "The next billionaire heir." Somewhere in the crowd, I caught a familiar flash of blonde hair. Isabella. She froze mid-step, coffee cup tipping slightly. Marcus's hand shot forward, steadying her, his face pale. I felt a strange mix of emotions. Pride, yes, but numbness too. I had imagined this moment countless times, revenge fantasies swirling in my head, but none of them prepared me for the calm clarity that now filled me. She's seeing me, I murmured, almost to myself. She's seeing the man she thought was nothing. I wandered past the media crews, every smile, every camera click, reinforcing the truth. I had changed. She had underestimated me, misjudged me, and the world was about to witness it. Marcus approached, stiff and controlled. Aaron, congratulations, I guess. Didn't think you'd get here. I tilted my head, letting my calmness speak louder than any words. Neither did you, Marcus. But here I am. His jaw tightened. She, Isabella, is happy with me. You don't understand. I cut him off, voice steady, almost gentle. I understand perfectly. She made her choices. I made mine. That's all life asks of you, isn't it? He swallowed and I could see the cracks forming. The control he thought he had slipping through his fingers. That satisfaction. It was subtle, almost sweet, though I didn't allow myself to savor it fully. Later that evening, I watched the world react. Messages from old colleagues, distant friends, even strangers flooded my phone. Some congratulated, some gawked, some asked how I'd risen so quickly. I didn't answer most. I didn't need validation anymore. Then my phone rang. Isabella. My chest tightened, then loosened as I stared at the screen. Every instinct screamed to answer. Every lesson screamed not to. I didn't. I let it ring. Once. Twice. 5 times. Then voicemail. Her voice soft, trembling slightly. Aaron? I saw. I didn't know. I muted it. Let it sit there, a reminder of every time she ignored my calls, every time she dismissed me as small, insignificant, nothing. I sank back into my chair, staring at the ceiling, tracing cracks that hadn't been there before, or maybe I'd never noticed. I feel nothing, I whispered. Not hate. Not longing. Nothing. And that's enough. The city lights outside my window flickered in the distance. The world knew me now, and so did she. I had imagined that moment would bring rage, tears, maybe even triumph that felt heavy. Instead it brought calm. Control. Closure. I thought of her mornings when I tried to reach her, when she said I wasn't enough, when she laughed at my dreams and mocked my ambition. All of it faded into a quiet memory, unshakable but distant. I poured another coffee, black, no sugar. No sweetness needed. I was awake. I was alive. I was mine. Her voicemail remained unread. Marcus's jealousy simmered somewhere in the background. And me, I was free. Finally free. I leaned back, hands behind my head, letting the silence stretch. Let them watch, I murmured. Let them all watch. Because tomorrow the world would see more than just my face. They'd see the man she never believed in. The man she thought was nothing. The man who had finally become unstoppable. I watched the rain streak down the glass from my office, the city blurred beneath sheets of gray. Isabella's silhouette appeared beneath the streetlights, shaking, drenched, calling my name. Aaron. Please wait. Her voice cut through the storm, desperate, raw. I didn't move. I didn't speak. I just watched, emotionless, letting the sound settle into the hollow space I had built for myself. A security guard approached her, umbrella barely shielding her from the rain. Ma'am, you can't enter. I have to see him. He needs to understand, she shouted, tears mingling with rain. The guard held firm. I'm sorry. Access is restricted. I leaned back in my chair, arms crossed. My heartbeat was steady, almost calm. She had begged, pleaded, stormed. I had already made my choice once and nothing she did now would change it. Meanwhile, Marcus appeared on the big screen in one of the news channels I kept on loop. His voice, normally smooth, carried venom. This partnership fails because of her mistakes. I cannot trust her judgment. I'll handle everything from now on. I watched Isabella flinch. Her status, her confidence, her little kingdom of influence, it crumbled in front of her. Deals fell through. Colleagues whispered. Respect vanished. The world that had adored her began to ignore her. She turned her gaze back to the building. She shouted again, Aaron. I need to tell you. I didn't answer. I just watched, the faintest twist of satisfaction curling at the edges of my chest. Karma wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was precise. Hours later, the rain had eased to a drizzle. I left the office early, parking in the dimly lit garage. Isabella appeared at the end of the row, soaked again, clutching her coat tight around her. Please, Aaron, she whispered when she saw me. I made a mistake. Everything. I should never have left you. I stopped just a step away. She reached out, grabbing my arm with trembling fingers. Look at me. Please. I can fix this. We can. I gently pulled my arm away, keeping my voice soft, steady. No, I said. You made your choice. Her face crumpled. But I never. You left me, I reminded her quietly. You walked out. And the world gave you exactly what you deserved. I didn't touch it. I didn't push it. You did. She sank to her knees, rain soaking her hair, smearing makeup, her voice shaking with sobs. I'll do anything. Just give me a second chance. Please. I walked past her, each step deliberate, echoing slightly against the concrete walls. I felt a quiet strength in my stride, the same strength I had never shown when she treated me like I was nothing. She called after me, voice breaking, Aaron. Wait. Don't, please. I didn't turn. I didn't glance back. I remembered every moment she had ignored me, dismissed me, mocked my efforts. Every time I had reached out, she had walked past me. And now, in this cold garage, she was finally tasting her own medicine. I could hear her gasping through tears. I was wrong. The rain dripped from the ceiling, forming little puddles around her. Her world had shrunk to that one damp corner, just as my world had once shrunk to her indifference. I reached the elevator, paused for a second, and allowed myself a single thought. I am free. She might beg, plead, or weep, but it wouldn't change anything. Not now. Not ever. I pressed the button, doors sliding closed slowly. The faint sound of her sobs lingered behind me, fading with every floor I descended. And as the garage emptied, the echoes of her regrets mingled with the faint patter of rain. I stepped outside, breathing in the cold night air. The man she abandoned was gone. The man she once scorned was gone. The man who walked away was finally the man she had underestimated. The knock came late, just as I was finishing dinner alone. I wasn't expecting anyone, especially not her. Isabella's voice, shaky and small, reached me from behind the door. Aaron, please, open up. I hesitated for a moment, then unlocked the door. She stumbled inside, rainwater dripping from her hair and coat. Her eyes were red, her face pale, her usual confidence gone. I didn't know where else to go, she whispered, collapsing into a chair. I sat across from her, my hands folded, trying to keep my voice steady. You made it here on your own. That's something. She shook her head, tears spilling freely. I've lost everything. My company, my deals. Marcus left me, and everyone looks at me like I'm nothing. I let her speak, letting her unload the weight she had carried so carelessly for herself. I thought I was doing the right thing. I wanted it all, power, respect, but I couldn't be me without you. Her voice cracked. You never asked, I said softly, almost whispering. You left without giving me a chance to explain anything. I was scared, she admitted, voice trembling. I was terrified that I'd fail, that I'd be trapped. I didn't think about you at all. I thought leaving would make me free. I nodded slowly. Freedom doesn't come by hurting someone else. She flinched as if she expected anger. I stayed calm, letting her feel safe enough to speak. Aaron, I hated how I felt when I was with you sometimes. I hated my own fear, my insecurity. I pushed it onto you. And I was cruel. Shoo, I interrupted softly. It's all right. I hear you. You're telling me what you never could before. Her lips quivered. I wanted to be the best, the smartest, the one who never needed anyone. But I needed you. I was too proud to admit it. I know, I said. I know now. She buried her face in her hands. I never realized how much you gave me. How much you were willing to fight for me. You should have realized sooner, I said gently. But you didn't. And that's why we're here. She looked up at me, eyes wide and desperate. Can we start over? I shook my head. No, Isabella. I forgive you. I forgive every lie, every betrayal, every moment you ignored me. But forgiveness doesn't mean we go back. Her body slumped. But, you're saying it's over forever? Yes, I said firmly but with no anger. We can't undo what you did. The choices were yours. The consequences too. She let out a shuddering sigh. I thought if I came here you'd change your mind. That maybe. You wanted control over the story, I interrupted gently. But some things can't be rewritten. A soft knock interrupted us. Lily stepped into the room holding a small blanket. Are you okay, Isabella? Can you stand? Isabella's eyes flickered to Lily, searching for judgment, for pity, for warmth she had never seen from me before. And she found it. Isabella whispered, voice broken. She's so kind. She actually cares. She does, I said quietly. She's been there while I learned to stand on my own. She's the person I needed around me, not the person who abandoned me. Isabella bowed her head, tears now flowing freely. I see it. I see what I lost. And I hate that I can't take it back. I reached over and gently touched her hand. I forgive you, I said. But it doesn't mean we go back. It only means I can move forward without carrying your mistakes as a burden. She nodded slowly, shivering. I understand. I never thought I'd feel this empty. I should have valued you more. You did, I said softly. Too late now, yes. But understanding it, that's the start of something. For you. Not for us. Lily helped her up. I watched silently as Isabella clutched the blanket around herself. Thank you, she whispered, barely audible. For listening. You needed someone too, I said. Not me. You needed someone who wouldn't abandon you the way I was abandoned. Her lips trembled. I can't believe everything's gone. Then believe this, I said, standing and letting her see my eyes, calm and steady. I forgive you. But your story ends here with me. Only you can write the next chapter of your life. She nodded, silent now, her tears falling freely. I watched her leave, the door closing behind her, and I felt a quiet weight lift from my chest. For the first time, the past was truly behind me. The morning was quiet. I hadn't expected anything from her, not after the night before. My phone buzzed and I saw her name flash on the screen. Isabella. I opened the message reluctantly, expecting excuses, pleas, or guilt. Instead, it was long, longer than I thought she could ever write without trembling. I'm sorry, it began. For everything. For leaving, for hurting you, for being selfish, for thinking I could have it all without considering the person I promised to love. I don't expect forgiveness, but I needed to say it. I'm trying to rebuild. Trying to be someone who can actually matter to the world without dragging anyone down. I hope you find happiness, Aaron. Truly. I stared at the screen, blinking slowly. The words were heavy, but they didn't sting. Not anymore. I felt a strange calm. I smiled softly, almost like a memory of the man I used to be, then pressed delete. Not out of anger. Not out of resentment. But out of closure. Is that it? Lily asked from the couch, sipping her coffee. She had watched me silently while I read the message, her eyes gentle but curious. Yes, I said, voice quiet. She's moving on. I think, so am I. She nodded. You've earned this, Aaron. You're not the same man who stood there signing papers in disbelief. You're stronger. Wiser. I stood and stretched, feeling the tension I didn't realize I'd carried leaving my shoulders. It feels light. Strange but good. You're free, Lily said softly. And you deserve to feel that. I walked to the window looking at the quiet street below. The rain had washed the city clean, leaving a calm, almost cinematic peace. I don't even hate her, I whispered, more to myself than anyone. I don't even care in the old way. I just feel free. Lily came up beside me. Then let's go for a walk. It's perfect outside. We strolled through the park, leaves crunching under our feet, the air crisp but comforting. People passed by, oblivious to the drama we'd left behind. I felt no need to explain. No need to justify. I was just existing. Breathing. Living. You've changed, Lily said after a long silence. I can see it. You carry yourself differently, Aaron. You've learned something important about life, about yourself. I chuckled softly. I lost a lot. But I also found a lot. Most importantly, I found me. You should be proud, she said. Her voice was steady, warm, filled with sincerity. You became someone even I didn't expect. But I'm proud of you. Thanks, Lily, I said. You've been incredible. I don't know if I'd have made it without you. You didn't need me to fix you, she replied. You needed someone to remind you who you were. And you remembered. All by yourself. I nodded, feeling the wind brush against my face. For the first time in months I felt peace. Real, tangible peace. No anger, no obsession, no heartbreak. Just calm. We reached a bench by the fountain, sitting side by side. So, the future, Lily said, glancing at me with a playful spark. What does it hold for Aaron now? I leaned back, looking at the reflection of the sun on the water. I don't know exactly. But I know I'll walk into it with my head high, without regret. Without her. Without the past dragging me down. Lily smiled, nudging my shoulder. That's the right way. That's the Aaron I know now. I let out a long breath. Losing her almost killed me. But it also saved me. She didn't need to say anything. I could feel the truth in those words. Every step I'd taken, every night I'd spent questioning myself, every bitter moment I'd endured, it had led to this. Freedom. Not from her alone, but from the man I had been. I stood, brushing off the damp from my coat. Come on. Let's move forward. New life. New opportunities. No looking back. She fell into step beside me, her presence comforting, steady. Together we walked through the park, the sun climbing higher, casting golden light across the path. And for the first time I felt like I was finally walking into my own story, one I was ready to live. The past was behind me. The future was mine.